The elements. You have met with each of the directions and their guides and have learnt how each is connected to the elements. We are now going to build our relationships with each of these elements, increasing our connection with them and discovering the knowledge of how our life force runs through all that lives, how together they bring all beings to life. Element, ether or spirit, from the direction of center. Everything in existence is made up of energy, no more so than that of the spirit. Riding within the vibrational waves that hum throughout our planet, seeking connection with those who are familiar, rooted within a body to form connections through the senses, spirit can experience life, learn, grow, and add that light into its spectrum. Spirit shines brightly when on the right path, becomes pale when it drifts from its true potential, dark when it is forgotten. Spirit infuses everything, the most powerful of all elements, offers gifts of life's creation and knowledge of its path, comes with wisdoms of recognition, asks only to be seen, with acceptance of its being, without judgment or opinion. If we lose sight of spirit, confusion and challenges can fade its light. When we lose its light, we can become lost, alone and scared, falling into darkness where time grinds to a halt. Spirit shines brightest to guide us on our way, sacrifices her light to keep us on our path. This is the true potential of her life force, accessing and living all the adventures to be had here on earth. These are her gifts which she gives away, and in doing so, becomes part of every being. This is how she shares her life force. Message from our canine spirits. We want to follow the light, fill our spirits with joy, rise and pulse with excitement. Our spirit lays out a path of light before us, there for us to ride. When we are riding within the light, time becomes irrelevant. We don't just want to be a spirit, we want to become all that spirit offers. Element, air, from the direction of east. Just before dawn there is a pause for thought. Held in suspense, air collects its thoughts before entering the day. If you hover in those moments, in a half-awakened state, you can grasp floating images, replay dreams, remember experiences, and stories unfold. Air rises life in all beings, fills mind with inspiration. Images arrive on the breeze, ideas inflate into thoughts, words ride on its wings, tornadoes of understanding, development. Growth brings atmospheric meaning to life. When the strong storms blow and the winds dance with the trees, playing through the grasses, air is at its most powerful. It clears out the dead. Loose, dying leaves and branches tumble to the ground. Seeds are grabbed up and blown far away, transported to a space to reach their true potential. Air carries away troubles, blows away your strife, brings forth new thoughts, seeds of inspiration, creation, and growth, filling our lungs with its life-giving force. Air feeds all life that grows, fuels cells to convert food to growth, but it cannot do this without water. It shares its life force with water, so it, in turn, can live. These are its gifts which she gives away, and in doing so becomes part of every being. This is how she shares her life force. Message from the canine spirits. We want to go outside, clear out our lungs, feel the air through our fur, hear all the things that come from far and wide, drifting on the breeze or in the raging winds. Their sounds bring messages, and we feel the connection with the world around us. We don't want to just breathe the air. We want to become the wind. The power of air. Listening, learning, communication, and growth through understanding. These are the strongest within the puppy period of the dog's lifespan. It is during this time that we should harness the energy at its greatest potential in order to most influence the spirit of our dogs. Element, fire, from the direction of south. A small ember simmers in the dark, ignites, and flickers into a flame. It dances in the dark, growing in size, coming to life. Warms our hearths, lights our torches, burns our bonfires. Fire clears paths in nature, heats our soils, and brings forth new life. In rage, it holds the power to clear our landscapes, destroy our cities, and burn our homes down to the ground. Fire can turn all that it touches into charcoal and dust. When it dies, we can feel much loss. But where it once lived, fertile space is beholden for new life to grow. Within the sun, fire is at its truest potential, bringing light to our days so that we can see clearly the path that lies ahead. In our being, fire resides within our loins, driving passion to seek out adventure, brings sight in its light, encouraging social connection. When the sun is at its pinnacle, the earth warms and brings forth life. Burning within our loins, she creates drive to reach our true potential. When fire rages and the flames tear across the land, possession can fury, tempers can rise, and rampage can follow. When all that can be achieved has done so, fire burns itself out. Life's lessons have been learnt, ambitions have been met, space remains for new growth. The embers of fire wait within to provide our next drive with its life-giving force. Fire cannot survive without air and that which grows from the earth. It would turn this planet into a barren wasteland without the power of living water, and it gives away to water so that it in turn can live. These are its gifts which she gives away, and in doing so becomes part of every being. This is how she shares her life force. Message from the canine spirits. We want to feel the fire within our loins, ride on the drive, reach for potential, see all that there is out there in life, meet others of our kind, socialize and play, rejoice in adventure, learn life's lessons, grow into all that we can be. We don't just want to feel the embers, we want to become the flames. The power of fire. Drive, social networking, adventure and growth through experience. These are the strongest within the adolescent period of the dog's lifespan. It is during this time that we should harness the energy at its greatest potential in order to most influence the spirit of our dogs. Element, water, from the direction of west. The spring starts with a trickle, meanders into a stream, collects force down the river, pours out into our seas, builds into waves, rises up to the sky, pours down on our lands, flows over every rock, cascades down every mountain, soaks every soil, fills every cell, and bursts out of every spring with ever more life than it started with. The more water rides its own path, the greater the flow. It is living, it has life force, it is a life force, and in a capacity beyond all other elements, it brings life to every being it resides in. It inhabits more beings on earth to a greater extent than any other element. It provides 80% body mass in growing mammals, fish and birds, that only reduces to 60% in adults. It provides up to 200% body mass in the growing trees and plants, reducing to 50 to 95% when fully grown. Water, the first level of the food chain, gathers nitrogen and oxygen and gives away to our plants, who in turn give away to the animals, who give away to each other. Water transports nutrients and oxygen around the bodies of all creatures so that they can grow. It provides structure and movement in all living beings. And when a body dies, water provides the environment for decay and breakdown. The bodies give away all that is left in them to the soil to nurture the next generation. Water holds tremendous life force. It can carve landscapes, shape rock, dissolve foundations, cause destructive erosion, feed rot and decay. It can join with the force of the earth, creating devastating tsunamis. It can destroy the earth, cause catastrophic landslides, wipe out civilizations and remove evidence of history. Water provides the blood that runs through our veins, pumps through our hearts. It triggers emotions that ebb and flow or storm out of control. Without water, we could not be. We would not have a form, and we would not be able to feel. Water cannot be without air. The power of the sun warms its living life force. It would turn this planet into a dead ocean, barren wasteland, and turn all soil to sand. But she shares her power to bring life to this earth. These are the gifts that she gives away, and in doing so, becomes part of every being. This is how she shares her life force. Message from the canine spirits. We want to feel the water flow through our bodies, feel the peace it brings, the power of devotion, feel all the emotions there are, form the greatest of connections with those dearest in our lives. Delight in relationships, learn life's lessons, grow into all that we can be. We don't want to just feel the water. We want to become the oceans. The power of water. Flowing with the emotional tides, discovering peace and tranquility, harnessing strength of feeling, growing through the realization of true connection. These are the strongest within the adult period of the dog's lifespan. It is during this period that we should harness the energy at its greatest potential in order to influence the spirit of our dogs. Element, earth, from the direction of north. The earth's heart beats with force within its inner core. Its magnetic blood flows with precious metals. Its muscles made of molten rock, encased in a skeleton of basalt and granite. A celestial body brought to life by our sun's heat and creating life through the elements of air and water. A celestial life form, she is not alone in space, and she loves the dance of life. She pirouettes with her sister the moon, waltzes with her partner the sun, twirling round him, feeling his warmth against her skin. Our own bodies offer numerous environments, housing thousands of species of what we fondly refer to as bacteria. Earth offers a diversity of ecosystems and plays hosts to millions of species. Like every living being, her body is constantly changing shape. Internal and external forces, gravity, tectonic activity, and erosion. You know it. We've all been there. When she was still young, travelling alone in space, she didn't suffer the pain of her body changing. She loved her simple, youthful beauty carved in rock, but she was lonely. One day she saw a light. She was drawn towards it, the sun, where she discovered what it was to truly feel alive. She experienced the harmony of unconditional sharing. She heard the catch of inspiration, whirling ideas into realities. She saw the drive, excitement, and amazing adventures. She felt the joy of peace, heartfelt depths of love through grief. She treasured the life and lives that were one with her skin every single day. For these gifts, she was eternally grateful to her powerful friends, the atmosphere of life-giving air, the sun heating her drive, the water shaping her being, the moon bringing forth rest, and the magnetic shield forever running through every heartbeat of every heart, keeping life alive, protecting life that Mother Earth had created in her beauty. Only together, giving away to each other, could they create the magic of life and in turn become alive. An ever-growing and changing, wondrous planet that has created itself over and over in the shape of every living species that she has ever shared part of herself with. Each being of life hosting a spirit that was bound to hers, so all could find a way of being connected, each on their own adventures to experience everything it could in its time, born from the soul of our Gaia. This is the gift which she gives away, and in doing so becomes part of every being. This is how she shares her life force. Message from the Canine Spirits. We want to feel what it is like to be mortal, connect to spirits that are close to our heart, to experience all that time has to give us. We want to remember all that we did. We want to know that we reached our potential. When we are done, we will thankfully return to the earth. The power of earth. Harbouring the pains and the pleasures that come with all that is physical body, living life through the being of every sense, giving that time she has left to every life she can behold. This is the life of the senior dog. Time to slow down and rest. See others live their lives through their eyes and treasure every moment. This is the spirit of our dogs. Element, rainbow, from the direction of below. We were born from the white of a starlight. We entered a being with boom. We came here and connected with earth, and then came in search of you. We never knew what we were here for, what an amazing life it would be, the experience of a true lifetime. I'm sure each one of us would agree. We lived to our truest potential. We learnt the gifts to ensure we were smart. We grew from experience and adventure. We connected to the most special heart. We are grateful for the body you gave us. Thanked our senses for all that they gave. Today we will finish our journey. Say goodbye. We're okay. Don't be brave. For adventure we were once promised, and with that we were nourishly fed. We knew that this trip would be ended at the time that was right, so they said. Today say goodbye to the body. My spirit still connects to the land. Kiss my head, stroke my body one more time. Lay my paw in your comforting hand. I arrived as the purest white starlight. For everything that life had to give, I absorbed all the colours of living, all this light the body just can't outlive. My spirit is ready to leave now. I hear it's a pretty good show. The innocent white light is gone now, my spirit a brilliant rainbow. That is because of you, my dearly beloved, for giving me the wondrous life that I had. Each colour you placed in my lifespan, a gift of memory from my dear journeyman. These are the gifts which we give away, and in doing so becomes part of our dog. This is how we share our life force. Message from the canine spirits. We came here to this lifetime to create more from our pure white starlight, create as many colours as we could from every memory that we could find, to listen to all we could hear, see through every adventure placed before us, feel the power of love in our hearts, experience everything our body would let us. Make all the connections of our spirit to fulfill our soul's true desire, to reach our true potential through the prism of your heart. Your light always drew us towards you, offering all that life had to promise, but it took a lifetime within your love to understand your power, our goddess. The power of the rainbow. We all refer to our animals passing over the rainbow bridge. Do we stop to think where all those colours come from? Who or what powers it? As our dog's spirit leaves its bodily form, it fractures into the colour of every memory. This is the life of the rainbow dog, creating the lights that paint the rainbow bridge. This is the spirit of our dog. Element, white, starlight. Direction, above. I was within the light, a soup of souls, all memories, experiences, and knowledge, all that was. The element of source, peace, unadulterated light, pure existence. I heard a whisper. It came from a single shadow within our light. Drawn to something, this mystery, I wandered towards it. It was murmuring, vibrating, and as I arrived at the source, it formed the word, life. The darkness revealed a window. It called itself Sirius. Looking through, I saw eternal darkness, the unknown, stretching out before me. Sirius talked of a path of light that it could offer towards the magic of life. If I took but one step through the star, the path would appear before me. It would lead the way. It would lead the way to more than imagined possible. But it would take a leap of faith. Sirius told me his story, and the more I heard, the more I became aware of my individual existence and my excitement of the unknown. Serenity resided in this utopia of being. Everything simply was. Nothing ever needed, wanted, or even dreamt of. No concept of anything else. Sirius offered a path to more, concept of new, an adventure of discovery. It would just take one step. Moving forward, closer to the window, and through my individual existence separated from that what had been. My light was its own, and it shone out in the darkness before me. It led a path, direct, a beam of light, penetrating the infinite space ahead, streaming out before me, coming to an abrupt end as it connected with another. I travelled down the light. At the other end, I found you. I felt the place in your heart I resided in. I looked through your eyes, and I saw my elderly eyes looking back with unconditional love. I saw the path of life behind them, and I followed the light. Saw glimpses of adventure, excitement of unknown, things never experienced in a body of my own. I saw myself as a puppy being lifted in your arms, and I felt that instant connection as I looked through your eyes, and I saw my eyes, young eyes, looking back with unconditional love. I saw the path of life behind them, and I continued to follow the light. I felt the warmth of her body, the mother I resided in, felt the first beat of my heart as my body came into being. I jumped inside that heart and found my place inside there. Here I would wait until I saw your eyes again. Then we would start our adventure of life together. These are the gifts light gives away, and in doing so becomes part of every being. This is how light shares its life force. Message from the canine spirits. I passed the veil of darkness through the brightest star above, brought in the light of Sirius, placed it in your heart of love, knowing that my spirit would be safe as it could be, a life to discover adventure, living together, you and me. The power of starlight. Agreements written in the stars before this mortal plane, that we would find each other and walk this path again, that together we would grow, together we would shine, together we would find a love and connection that's divine. White dog never leaves us, and white dog has yet to come. White dog is always part of us. Together, we are one. And with this sharing of wisdom, our wheel takes a turn.